course, to the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Gene and Ole Anderson.
And we still have the World Tag Team Champions. We're the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. There's nobody. Ole and myself are going to take on all challenge. We don't care who they are. Wells, Rich, Wrestling 2, Ric Flair, we don't care. Because we're still the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, the world champions.
You know, we've been gone for a little while, and we've been traveling all over the world. We come back to Atlanta looking once more for the great talent that Atlanta always has. We're looking for some great competition. As he mentioned, Tommy Riches and the Ric Flairs, the Wrestling Number 2s, or the Steve-O's, or maybe even a couple of kids like we see up here in the ring, all trying to make a name for themselves. Remember this, we may not be fancy, we may not look pretty like Tommy Rich, we may not have some of the moves and the fancy clothes like a Ric Flair, we may not have all that flash and charisma like a Dusty Rhodes, but there's one thing for sure. We sure as hell can wrestle, and we wrestle better than anybody else in the world. And when you can get two people that can beat us or even come close, you really are doing something. I'd suggest to everybody, you search. Take a look in the Richmond, Virginias or the Columbus, Ohio's. In fact, when I think about that particular town, Columbus, Ohio, you better be looking very close because you might be seeing us real soon. Maybe in another couple of hours you might be seeing us. But wherever, find somebody that's even half as good as we are, and we'll be happy. We're the World Tag Team Champions, the best there is, and there ain't none better. And we're going to show you right now why we are.
There you have it, the comments from Ole and Gene Anderson, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. They are indeed the World Tag Team Champions. Right now they're going up against Rick Thor and George Wells, and this should promise to be quite a test indeed for both of these men. Now, the Andersons, of course, from the Golden Gopher state of Minnesota, George Wells out of California. Teamed up with Rick Thor. One fall, 10-minute time limit in this Australian tag team match, and that is Gene Anderson moving out first very quickly. Started to make the tag and then moves back against George Wells. And now the tag is made. And this is the thing about the Anderson brothers. They have those quick tag in and tag outs and do it so very effectively. Back into the far turnbuckle now. Ole Anderson. Kept his man tied up. And it's Ole Anderson driving a knee to the midsection, then a forearm to the back of the head of George Wells. A snapmare that takes Wells to the canvas. The tag is made. Gene Anderson tags up. And so now they have started their usual strategy, and that's keep their opponent tied up in their corner. They will keep him from tagging just as long as it is humanly possible. And some quick double teaming here, but the tag was made once again. And it's no wonder that they are the World Tag Team Champions with the tremendous skill they have, the great ability of keeping themselves ready and keeping their opponent away from their own corner. Wells has had no opportunity to get over and tag up. Now Wells breaks it up, but Ole Anderson in there on top of him very quickly. Anderson, the hip lock takedown, or a hip toss rather. Wells powers out once again. And George Wells, red trunks, trying to get back to his feet, makes it back to his feet. Rick Thor waiting in that corner, waiting to tag. Wells with a forearm, another one, and another, and another. Wells back over there, makes the tag with Rick Thor. Thor moves into the ring. You know, the Andersons, Ole Anderson made the comment that they're not very fancy. Let me just tell you something. If you watch them carefully, and that, again, is part of a smoke screen that Anderson will put out so that his opponents may pick up that information. They are one of the smoothest, most professional tag teams that you will ever see. These men are doubly dangerous. But they use psychological warfare as well as tremendous skill and ability in the ring. And you'll note that Anderson, both of them, have utilized a great series of holds. Now, Variation of the arm bar into a quarter Nelson. Now the flat of the foot into the bottom of the rib cage. Tag is made. Gene Anderson moves back into the ring. Gene Anderson. Snapmare on Thor. Back to the canvas. Ole Anderson. Drove that knee into the shoulder of Thor, and that, of course, they will generally concentrate on an arm or a shoulder. Had that arm barred, put tremendous back pressure on the arm. Thor was unable to fight off the pain that was coursing through his body, very quickly conceded. And so the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, the World Tag Team Champions, emerge again victorious.